Welcome to Explore Kids Online.
Welcome. We were a bit high up there, weren't we? Right. Okay. Really good to see everybody. Welcome to Explore Online on what's been posted for the 17th of January. And if you watched last week's video, you will know that we are basing all of the things we're thinking about on a verse from the Bible. This was actually Ellie's suggestion to talk about some of these things. And you might remember, in my Father's house are many rooms, and this week we've got that one surrounded, circled with the red. Okay, last week it was somewhere else, but it says, if it were not so, would I have told you that I go to prepare a place for you? And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and take you to myself, that where I am, you may be also. That's a really weird way of putting that, isn't it? In that particular Bible translation. Of course, Jesus didn't actually say that exactly. He said that, but in a totally different language. So that's how somebody's kind of translated it into English. But basically what it means is, I am going to, Jesus was saying, heaven has got lots of space. I'm going there to make room and to prepare space for whoever believes in me. And then one day I'll come back and take them to be with me, and we'll all be together. Sounds absolutely brilliant. And so today we are talking about heaven. Not quite sure what that's got to do with heaven, but we are nonetheless, very good, Ellie. We are nonetheless going to talk about heaven today. Oh dear.
It was a frog.
Right. It was a frog, was it? Okay, it's a very weird shaped frog. Okay. Have you ever wondered what heaven will be like?
Yeah.
Okay. You're not alone.
Unicorn.
Yeah, you're convinced that there are unicorns there. Okay. Yeah. Who knows? Right, okay. Yes. So anyway, lots and lots of kids have lots and lots of ideas about what heaven's like. I once read about one really, really little kid who thought that heaven was a building with 3 floors, and God slept on the top floor. All the angels slept on the second floor, and Father Christmas and all of the reindeer and the elves slept on the third floor. And again, I don't know. And again, I'm sure that that's not what it looks like either. I'm sure Father Christmas lives somewhere totally different entirely.
That would mean that Jesus and God and the angels lived in the North Pole.
It would. So it's heaven's definitely not in the North Pole. Actually, by the way, we don't know where heaven is. Heaven is a real place. Jesus went back up into heaven,
We won't know
as we heard
until
last
we
week.
go.
We won't. Jesus went back up into heaven, sort of up into the air, but that doesn't mean that heaven is up in the sky or up in space. But it's a real place, and Jesus has gone to prepare a place for us. But yeah, lots and lots of people imagine what heaven will look like. You're wobbling us a bit, and lots of kids as well. But so here's a little story based on a really famous song called I Can Only Imagine, which is all about wondering what heaven is going to be like. And this is a storyboard based on that, which has been written for kids. So let's have a look at this.
I can only imagine for little ones a friendship with Jesus now and forever, by Bart Millard. The more I imagine, the more I wish I knew. When we go to heaven, just what will we do? Would Jesus play with me? Would he like what I like? Would he race with a wagon or ride on a bike? Do the houses in heaven have big rooms and spaces? Did God think of me when he built all those places? I can only imagine what God thinks is fun. We could jump in the lake and soak in the sun. I bet heaven serves ice cream before lunch each day, and the scoops are ginormous, like an ice cream bouquet. Why, maybe in heaven God loves to play ball. Everyone gets chosen, there's room for us all. Surely the music in heaven is grand. We'll sit round the fire and make our own band. What about animals? Does God have a pet? Does he think Lulu's the greatest dog yet? When I get to heaven, can I sit on God's knee? We'll all cuddle up close and hear his story. We know you, we love you, we'll be there together. Each day will be happy in heaven forever. I'm sure of one thing that will always be true. I don't have to wait to spend time with you. I can only imagine what my eyes will see when your face is before me. I can only imagine. And this has been I Can Only Imagine for Little Ones, A Friendship with Jesus Now and Forever by Bart Millard. And just remember, you are loved and you are created for great purpose.
So, there we go. Some thoughts about what heaven might be like. I wonder what you think heaven would be like. I wonder what your ideas are. Whether you've got some particular thoughts about what you think is going to happen there and what it's going to look like. And the truth be told, we won't really know until we get there. But there are some things that we definitely do know about heaven. Okay?
It will be amazing.
It will be amazing. Let us show you some of the ways that it will be amazing. Here comes one verse from the Bible. Okay, it says, God will wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, nor sorrow, that means sadness, nor crying, neither will there be any more pain. Revelation 21, verse 4. So, Ellie, can you think of a time when you felt so sad that you cried?
Yes.
Can you think of a time like that? Okay. How did you feel? Obviously sad.
Sad.
Yeah, you really did you feel overwhelmed? Did you
I
think
was
worried? Did you feel
confused.
scared? Confused?
I was stuck on my homework.
Stuck on your homework. Yeah, wow. I can imagine. And felt really, really sad and cried. Well, do you know what? There'll be none of that in heaven.
No homework.
No, I'm sure there will be no need for homework in heaven. But there'll be nothing else either that will make us upset. Nothing else that will make us sad. Nothing else that will make us cry. It will be a place where everyone is totally happy and full of joy.
Yay.
All of the time. Isn't that amazing? That's the first thing about heaven. Here's the second verse about heaven. Here we go. And it says, and the gates of it shall not be shut at all by day, for there shall be no night there. Okay, so there won't ever be nighttime. So,
We will
Ellie,
never sleep.
I want you to, you won't ever need to sleep. Can you close your eyes a second? Okay, and imagine a place that never gets dark. Never ever gets dark. Because the Bible says that God's glory will be so bright that it will stay light all the time. And you can open your eyes now.
I can't think of anywhere.
Can't you not? Can you imagine that though? You know, so because sometimes when it's dark, we get scared, we get confused. It can not be very nice when it's dark, but in heaven, it will never, ever, ever get dark. There'll be no nighttime. It will always be daytime, and we won't get tired, so we won't need nighttime because we won't need to go to sleep. Isn't that great? Fantastic. Okay.
But there will be beds that we can sit on, right?
I don't
Or will
know.
there be sofas or
I
anything?
don't know. I don't know. That's the thing.
No.
We don't know. Okay. Next verse is this. But our citizenship is in heaven. So what that verse is saying is that we actually already belong there, even though we're still living on earth. And from it, we await our Saviour, the Lord Jesus Christ, That's the American spelling of Saviour there. Who will transform, that means change, our lowly, so not so good body to be like his glorious body. Okay, so you've got some Play-Doh there. Can you have a go?
The last since the
Yeah.
the
Can you have a
video.
go at making a little? What are you doing?
Fake
Have a-
eyes.
Making eyes. Have a go at making a little body. Okay. Have a go at making a little Play-Doh man now. While you have a think about this. Okay. What do you think is the difference between a lowly body and a glorious body? What do you think that verse is going on about? You got any idea?
You won't break your back.
Okay, so you're absolutely right. So in our bodies right now, we've got limitations. We get tired. We get hurt. We get pain. We get old. You know, especially me. I'm getting old. We get old, and it starts to break down, and it starts to go wrong, and people get poorly. But our new bodies, God will change our bodies to be brilliant new bodies that won't ever get sick, won't ever get tired, won't ever get hurt, won't ever break down. They'll just be absolutely perfect, amazing. We'll be super strong. I don't mean superpower strong. I just mean healthy, and everything like that. It will be absolutely amazing.
Oh
That's
no, the head came off.
Okay, let's move on in that case. Right, number 4 is this, okay? It says, in your presence is fullness of joy. Psalm 16:11. Now, Ellie, can you think of a time when, you've thought about a time when you were really sad and cried. Can you think of a time when it was exactly the opposite, where you experienced so much fun?
I can't think of a specific one because there's too many.
Too many, lots of times when you've just had loads and loads of fun. Maybe it was at a friend's birthday
all
party.
birthday
We were playing in the snow just recently, weren't we?
Yes.
That was
That was
much
amazing.
fun. Do you know what? That is what heaven is
Even
going.
if our snowman collapsed.
Yeah, it did.
After.
Social distancing. Somebody did say put a joke on Facebook about how many snowmen were allowed to gather in a garden at any one time. And I think we solved that problem, because when we built our third snowman, it didn't even last the night before it collapsed. So clearly the maximum was 2. Okay.
And a cat.
Oh, and a cat. Yeah.
We made a
Cats
cat.
don't count. We made a cat as well. But it was so much fun. And do you know what? Heaven is going to be like that all the time. Heaven is just going to be so much fun. Heaven is going to be like one big party all the time, where we're just happy and enjoying ourselves and enjoying God's presence and worshipping him and praising him. And it's going to be absolutely amazing. I have absolutely no idea what you're making there. But
A man.
you're making a man. He's got tentacles, for crying out loud.
He's not. He's got arms and then legs.
Oh, I
I'm
see.
working on the body.
Oh, I've got you. Right, okay. There we go. Let's go for number 5 then, shall we? For the 5th thing we're going to learn about heaven, and it's this, okay, from this verse. And this is our main verse, of course. And we're having it again. But let's do the bit that's circled. In my Father's house are many rooms. So the greatest thing about heaven is it's going to be our home. We're going to live there. It's going to be like ours. And we're, according to this, we're all going to get some kind of a room. Okay, what do you think your room would be like, Ellie?
It'll be pink and sparkly with pigs.
Pigs. Why pigs?
I've just had an obsession lately with pigs.
With pigs. So in Ellie's heaven room, it's going to be pink and sparkly with pigs. There you go. Absolutely brilliant. Oh dear. Well, can I just say I reckon that's more like a lowly body than a perfect body, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, a glorious body.
This is the first.
Fantastic. What amazing things about heaven, though.
Ta-da.
What amazing things about heaven, though. What amazing things to think about, that there's going to be just fun all the time and no sadness and always light, and we're going to always be healthy and well and full of energy, and it's going to be our home. Amazing things. Whatever it actually looks like when we get there, it's going to be amazing. Let's have another song. This is from Hillsongs. Oh, by the way, all of this lesson, I got this from a lady called Jennifer Price on a website from Faith Gateway. So well worth having a look at that if you want to. Some of the things that they've got on that website are amazing. Right, okay. Here's a song. This is from Hillsongs Kids.
Truth, I can't believe it. This great thing I know, the Savior's on the throne. There's more to this life, it's supernatural. I'll set my heart on things eternal. This great thing I know, the Bible tells me so.
Fantastic. So we've got a craft as we normally do. We like doing our crafts, and have I just broken this one? No, I haven't.
No, you
And
haven't.
we've got our little sort of heaven sort of dangly kind of thing. And you can see it says heaven, and it's got all of the things that we've talked about heaven is like. So the fact that there's no sadness, we're happy all the time. The fact that it's always light. The fact that we're going to have glorious bodies. You know, that don't run down. We're going to have fun. It's going to be like a big party.
Our own house with
and it's
our
going
own
to be
room.
like our own home with our own room. Okay, and so this is a brilliant thing to make, just to remind us. And the first thing we've got to do, Ellie, is draw these images. Of course, if somebody if you want to look,
How many are we making?
I'll draw one and you draw one. Okay, so again, we're gonna draw those things. Okay, so
I'm gonna have a green balloon.
are you? Yeah.
Like
Fantastic. I'm gonna draw mine in order so I don't get confused. Okay, so I'm going to have a smiley face. Okay. And I'm going to colour him in yellow, I think, this time. Like a proper emoji. Okay.
Except for it's not a proper emoji.
Except it's not a proper emoji. Well, it's not bad. Okay. Okay, and this is to remind us, of course, that there will be no more sadness, no more pain, no more crying, no more suffering. Absolutely brilliant. Then I'm going to do light.
I'm doing house next.
You're doing the house next.
I've done fun, smiley face, and now I'm on house.
Okay. I'm on light, and light, of course, to remind us that... have we got an orange?
I'm using an orange pencil.
I've got an orange, sort of. Light to remind us it will never be dark, but it will be light because God is going to be so bright. Okay, and then we want to draw sort of the perfect glorious body. So because we're all going to have bodies that don't get tired. In fact, can I actually say something? Make a little bit of a change. Okay, when we first get to heaven, we won't have bodies, but one day we will be given these amazing bodies. Okay, we won't get them straight away, because a lot of what heaven is like, the Bible talks about a time when God is going to recreate everything, and this is what it's going to be like. But it's what heaven is like. But of course, it is what heaven is like now. Okay, so made a bit of I suppose you could say I made a bit of a mistake there, in that I suggested when we get to heaven we'll have these bodies. We're going to have these bodies eventually. God is going to give us these amazing bodies. But the great thing is we won't need them to start off with. We will just be enjoying God's presence and be with Jesus. And it will still be a massive party. Okay, so I'm going to do now my balloon.
My body's too big.
Your body's too big. No, it's fine.
It's humongous.
So I'm going to do my balloon. Of course, if you want to do different pictures to represent these different things, the balloon to represent the fact that there's going to be so much fun and parties. Okay. Really enjoy, we're just going to enjoy God's presence and celebrate being with Him. It's just going to be amazing, just full of joy all of the time. If you can't want to draw a different kind of a picture to represent all of these different things, then by all means do. In fact, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. For my last picture, I know we said we don't know whether there's going to be beds, but beds are amazing, aren't they? There's nothing that really makes you feel like you've got your own room, like having a lovely bed. So
you just won't need it to go to sleep.
You won't need it to go to sleep.
That's all.
So I don't know whether we're actually going to have beds, but because having a bed in your special bed in your special room is like the best thing ever. I'm drawing a bed to represent that. Okay. So those are my pictures. Now, going to show you how to do the next part. Okay. So you need a coat hanger. You take a pencil and draw.
I just want to show my I just want
Oh, that's very
That's
good.
mine.
Right, we got some scissors somewhere. We did have.
Yes.
You want to cut your pictures out?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
We
going
only
to
do
draw.
one then.
I think we might only have time to do one, actually, thinking about it. Okay, so I've drawn, can you see what I've drawn? I've drawn the shape of the coat hanger. And then, going to fold it
By cutting
over.
out, are we only cutting out a circle around it?
Just cut out a circle around it, yeah. Again, that's up to you, but I think it'll be, it's easier certainly just to cut a circle around it, and to be honest, for our time today, that might be the best bit. So I've now
Okay.
folded it so it looks a bit like
Oops.
that. Can I just borrow the scissors a minute? Okay. Cut along that line. Oh, I think I folded more than one piece of paper here.
Oh, great.
Never mind, doesn't matter. Okay.
Yes, you did. You
Yes, I did. So
done
I'm gonna.
two.
Oh, that's all right.
Maybe
So- I'm just gonna cut one there, and then cut the edge of your thing like that. And instead of following it round, instead of following the shape round, cut it straight up, because you want to leave a bit of paper, a bit of the crease still done up. Okay, so I'm going to do the same on this side, and then cut down there,
Just
And
show
then-
them what you mean.
and then I'm
Right.
going to cut. I'm going to show them what I mean when I've actually done it, and then cut a hole out like that. So you've got a kind of a shape like that
Looks
that
like a
matches
cowboy hat.
matches the coat hanger. If you open it up, it looks like that. Okay, and then you want to decorate it at the front of it to say heaven, but for speed, I'm just going to write heaven on the front. Okay.
Can I use the scissors again now?
Yeah, you can. Heaven. Like that. It's just easier to do it like that. Okay. And then take the coat hanger and poke the coat hanger through so that it comes and sits on the top like that. And you will need some sellotape
Sellotape.
just to fasten it in place and keep it together. Bit of sellotape there will be good, and bit of sellotape there will be good. This is obviously a very different coat hanger from the one I used to make that one. So it's it just looks a little bit different, doesn't it? Okay, now you also need, let's clear some of this rubbish out of the way. You also need to cut some strips of paper. Okay, different size. So how are you doing, Elle? You cut them all out?
Wait,
Okay.
if there's 5, I've cut them all out.
Yeah. So I want to cut some strips of paper. Okay.
Strip.
Okay.
Strip
1,
1,
2,
2, strip 3.
3. I'm going to cut, oh, and 4. You'll probably need to cut 4 strips for the 5 things. And the reason that you're not cutting 5 for the 5 strings is that you're going to make some of the strips shorter. So that, can you see what I've done? Can you see what I've done? Can you see what I've done here? And then they don't interfere with one another. Okay, very simply like that. It does, yeah. So what you want to do, Ellie, is just. Oh, what's going on there?
Sorry, just a bit of tech issue there.
There we go.
There we go. Also,
You probably couldn't even see that on the screen,
you
actually.
can't- you
Not
wouldn't be
necessarily.
able to.
Something came up. Can you stick those on the back there, then, Ellie? Turn your things over,
With
and then just a bit of
sellotape.
sellotape. Stick it on the back. Okay.
Basically, every craft.
You've
we
got
do
3 little
sellotape.
ones. got 3 little ones and 2 long ones. It doesn't actually matter what order you put them in. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to then stick it to the back with sellotape of there we go, it's all right. Stick it to the back of the thing. Can you see? Got it hanging like that. Okay, get another one. I'm going to put in the middle. Oops. Stick that in the middle like that. The long one will go between the two middle ones.
Have you got 3 short ones or something?
I did have 3 short ones.
I've only got.
Here's another short one then. Let me cut you another short one. Like that. I mean, you can have 3, you can have them all long, you can have them all short. I've done some long, some short, just because they do interfere with one another. They sort of get stuck together.
Too long.
Yeah, they get stuck together. You know, they kind of fall in each other's ways. So
Fold the edges.
that's the only
Fold the edges.
reason you don't.
The edges. Yes. There's my
Okay, I'm going to stick it there. So they're not as obviously not as elaborate as the other one that we've done because of time, but there we have the one that we've made this time.
Heaven.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. There's the other one. There's the other one that we were able to take a bit more time about, but actually I think that's really good too, don't you?
That one's white.
Okay.
This one's yellow.
To remind us what an amazing place heaven is going to be. So all that remains is for us to say goodbye. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.